there. I'm returning to the permission that me and Dan last did about 2 or 3 weeks ago, mainly because there was about 10 or 15 acres that I didn't cover. It's quite near to an inn which dates to the 15th century. First thing to note is with these headphones, with these Creative Blaster headphones, whilst they're pretty economical, they are dual connectivity, which means you have to switch off the Bluetooth on your phone. It's a nice idea to have your phone active on Bluetooth as well as the detector, but it compromises the quality of the signal through your headphones. So make sure you turn your phone off. Secondly, I have an awful lot of really sticky mud on the end of my coil, which I've had to just clean off. I dare say the last detect, and that wasn't here incidentally, where I found all those Russian hemp seals from the late 18th century, early 19th century. Obviously got sung out with the husks of the hemp when they were manuring the field, and the manuring of that particular field, because it was latterly then hops, has made for a very sticky amount of soil that I'm carrying around as extra weight. First fatal mistake, although not quite a fatal mistake, is I've forgotten my trowel, so we'll have to work. I've either forgotten it or it's I've lost it somewhere. Anyway, first signal is nice 21, and it's fun enough where me and Dan were sitting, so surprise, surprise. Yeah, pinpointers swinging around. Just remove that. Okay, see how well we can work without a trowel. Probably a good job we didn't investigate that one. It's a bottle top, bottle green. 29:31, hole number 2. It's just gone 1 o'clock. Very faint, deep, but it's a high number, 33. Oh, there it is. Piece of shrapnel, I think. Yep. Piece of the typical piece of copper shrapnel. There we go. Hole number 2. This is an 18. Not a particularly pingy signal, I have to say, out of that hole there. So there's the top. It's about 10 inches. It's in the bottom 5 inches. Oh, there it is, I think. Bit of old rubbish, I think. Yeah, bit of broken machinery of some description, I think. There we go. Hole number 3. 19 or 20. See the depth from that, I expect. It's about 6 inches. Ah, there it is. What is it? That's interesting. I think they've got a fob seal there, possibly. This is where I found the lead cruciform token with the 4 pellets and the spindle whorl, incidentally. It's a former boundary that was a different shape, and I'm very close to that boundary. So I don't know, that could be a fob seal, in which case, I don't know, we'll have a closer look at it, but maybe 18th or 17th century, if that's the case. Could be Victorian. This was a 21. It's a pretty ghastly, broken signal, but it does turn out to be a coin. I don't know if you can see there. Don't know what type of coin. There's a proliferation of signals in this patch where I am at the moment, in the corner of the field. See if we can work out who it is. George V or VI, early 20th century, I think, anyway. That sort of era. Right. Towards the centre of the field, we've got a really nice 22, 24. Is it a coin? It sounds like one. Right, it's in the top 6 inches, as you can see from that clod. Yep, not far wrong. What coin is that though? Another pre-decimal. Another pre-decimal. Penny of some description. I think that's a George V, so early 19th century penny anyway. Just hunting around the pond itself for a bit now. There's a lot of rubbish. Got an 18, but it's on the surface. Probably going to be a tin can. Don't bother with that. Great big piece of iron pipe. So we'll leave that one. Right, still in the copse of trees by the pond, which, as I say, has an awful lot of rubbish piled in here. This one's slightly more pingy. 21. So I'm hoping I've got to look for those smaller targets. Right. Oh, dropped it. No, I've got a coin. Well, that's cool. No, I haven't. He thought he had a coin. It looks like it's the end of part of a lid. The edge of the lid has come off. It's just the base of the lid, or the top of the lid. Right, still in the trees. This one I do believe is a musket ball, I think, anyway. Yep. There you go, at least it's a musket ball, not a piece of rubbish. One in the wood. This was 25. I think it's a shotty end, isn't it? Shotgun cartridge end, unfortunately. There you go. 20. Oh dear. Piece of old rubbish. I can see it's a bottle lid. It's a bottle lid of some description. Small bottle lid anyway. Back in the field, nearer to the road, which is my planned area of coverage today, and a piece of lead. That was 21 on the scale. A piece of lead and it was in that hole there. Right, this one's 22 from that hole. Let's see what this brings us. So I just had a piece of lead from here, and I think there was a field boundary that went down that dip in front of me there. Divided this 30 acres, or 10 acres, sorry, into 3-point-something acre fields. 3 of them, obviously. Right, this one's shallow. It's bottle lid. Say no more. Kia ora. My brother was right. These fields aren't producing. I don't know what this one's going to be. I'm fairly near the gate here. It's really the shallow ones. Certainly are turning out to be aluminium cans and bottle lids. So what have we got here? At least it's not a can or a bottle lid. It's a buckle, but it's a modern buckle. Right, this one's an 18 at medium depth. That's where I am in the field. I think it's a piece of lead, I might be wrong. Is that it? Yeah, I can see it's a musket ball. There you go, musket ball. I moved back to this side of that line of trees there, so I was over the other side just a moment ago. This one's 26. It's in this clod here. That's a 50 cal bullet. So these could be fired either from aircraft or from ground machine guns. It's impossible to tell, unfortunately, but yeah, that's what that is. Well, this is quite a strange one. It was iron in one axis and non-ferrous in the other, so it's probably going to be iron with a shape that makes it sound non-ferrous, but I haven't got my trowel, so I'll try and do this with my spade. Could be a bit awkward. I'll be far away from it. Right. Yeah, I think it's a piece of iron. Don't know what that is. Right, it started out as a good signal, and then it degraded, and now it's come back to a good signal. Obviously the target is changing orientation. I can see it's a coin. Oh well, don't know which coin. This is near where I found the very indiscernible George III. It's a ship halfpenny, sorry. 19. That's in good condition. I think that says 1949. 1949 ship halfpenny. A really good patina. Right, this one's about 20, quite near the road. It's in this clod here. So you're going to be on the top or the bottom. That's the top. So it's in the bottom 8 inches, I'd say. 303 bullet, there we go. Right in the middle of the lower field again. 16 in this clod here. Probably a button, I would say. It's quite shallow. Right, in here, what are you? Something pretty small. Yeah, I think I'm right. Is that a button? Yep, another 4-hole button. To add to my mountain of 4-hole buttons, given what I found on my last permission. Right, 4-hole button. Right next to that, there's the 4-hole button. We've got a 21, 22. Again, unfortunately, it's quite shallow. It's a good signal, but I think it's going to be in the top 5 inches, as you can see there. Top 5 inches. Oh, it's not there. Maybe it's fallen out. Ah, there you go. Is that a coin? Pretty bent. It's pretty buckled. If you think the population of the field probably reached a peak around 1780, 1800. That's why so often that period is represented so much, if you like. Very near those last 2 items. This one's 6 on the scale, so don't know if it's going to be iron or whether it's going to be a low conductor. Another button, I think. Is that another button? There you are, sorry. Whoop. Where's that gone? Yeah, it's another. I think that's another button. So the lighting is absolutely abysmal today. The Georgian, I would say. Georgian button, or Victorian. Probably Georgian. Last few holes, I guess. 2021. See what's in here. It's getting dark, fortunately. Right, another coin. Another bent coin. Same as the one in the middle of the field over there. I just picked up. Same thickness, I mean. Might be able to get something off this one. Maybe it'll be a Victoria. Yeah, it's in a better state of preservation than the last one. That was, it's not. I think I can see an Edward the 7th there. I think that's an Edward the 7th penny. Right, another near to that Edward the 7th penny. That's what it was. Got a 19 this time. It's in the top half of this clod. So under the trees where people would presumably shelter. It's in here. There's the grass, so it's in the bottom 3 inches, so 3 inches, 3 to 6 inches. I don't think it's a coin this time or anything exciting. It's just a piece of... Yeah, that is just a piece of aluminium, fortunately. Right, on to the next. Getting dark, so I don't know how much longer I'll go on for. This one's was a 14, but it's got a lot of iron tone in it now. 13, 14 one way, iron tone in the other. So, in this one, in there. Right, it's not that deep, it's in that top 5 inches. Well, it's right on the top, in fact, so probably going to be rubbish. Another button, I think. Is that a button? Or is it a washer? No, it looks to me like another button. Not a typical 4-holer. It's slightly more interesting design. It might show something when we clean it. There you go. Right, from that hole there, we've got a 26, I think it is. Thought I saw something in this clod here. It's in the top 4 or 5 inches. Oh, what do we got? Shilling. Oh, that's quite nice. 2 shillings. Bit of silver anyway. I don't know as to a date. It's George the 6th, so maybe Second World War, or a bit later. See if we can get a date. I think these are 50% silver, these. Yeah, I can't immediately see a date on that one. Anyway, George the 6th. There he is. That's a nice coin, actually. 1944, Second World War. There we go. Alright, just found a clay pipe stem in this hole that Target has 19, but it's deep, and I haven't got my trowel, unfortunately, so it's proving awkward to get to. But I think that's a clay pipe stem. Find it, unfortunately, it may have been something iron that's just giving a non-ferrous tone, so I'll have to crack on. 18 to 21 from here, from that hole there, in that clod there. It's quite a neat signal, that. Right, it's in the top 6 inches. Probably about 4 to 6 inches now. What is it? Some sort of key. Oh, I don't know if you can see that. There you go. Key. 18 out of that hole there. So I think in this piece here, I can see something. Piece of wire. Or rodding. I don't know what these sort of things are. I've seen them in the middle of fields before. It's almost as if the soil has collapsed. I'm wondering if they were formerly wells. So if you look, there's no sign of excavation. It's just a sinkhole of some description. I'll go around it and have a look if there's anything. So that giant hole in the middle of the field is horse brass. Probably Victorian or Georgian. That was 31. Quite dark now, and it's about 4:30, maybe closer to 5. This one's 20. It's in that clod there. Don't know which part. Right, it's in there. Not in the top 6 inches there. No, it's in the top 3 or 4 inches. Ah, it's a tin can. Oh well, that's my parting shot for today. I'll post all the finds up now, and we'll have a closer look at what we found. Right, quick summary. 39 finds. That was between 1 and about 5, so about 4 hours of detecting. So an average of 10 per hour, 10 targets dug per hour. Start with the rubbish, as usual, bottom left. A lot of bottle caps. Probably that's to do with the fact that there's an inn opposite. That would make sense in my mind. So we've got a range of things from Georgian, 18th century, 1700s in other words, going forward. So you've got the 2 musket balls, probably 18th century. This here was the most curious of all the finds. I think it's a seal. I think it's a seal, but the end doesn't reveal anything, so it possibly had an intaglio end on it or some such thing. It's got gold leaf, so definitely it wasn't just an inanimate object. It is something like a seal. I may be wrong, but perhaps someone will correct me. So that would be probably 18th century or early 19th again. 3 Victorian or Georgian buttons, 4-holers. This, near to that collapsed piece of field, sinkhole or whatever, is interesting because very rarely do they have an inscription on them. This one's got PO or PJ, it appears to have on it. It's a horse brass. Then I got a clay pipe stem from the hole which I didn't pursue. Then I've got World War II shrapnel and a 303 and a .5 caliber machine gun bullet from the Second World War, most likely. I've got 6 coins. They're mainly, so for example, this halfpenny or halfpenny is a ship halfpenny from 1948. Anyone around in 1948 would recognise that. Although it's a little bit crusty, this one. 1948 ship halfpenny. Then I've got what looked like Edward VII and George V and VI. So 1900 to 1950, all these coins. There's the 2 shilling piece. Very nice. I unfortunately clipped it with my spade. I don't know if you can see that. 1944, that one. They were kept in circulation after decimalisation in 1971 and used as 10 pences, whereas the single 1 shilling, which are 50% silver incidentally, were used as 5 pences because they were the same diameter. Various other bits and pieces, fittings, quite a common old cardinal buckle there, if it would just focus. Nice if the camera would focus. Right, that's better. And then a few bits of iron and a shotgun shell, a piece of lead. I'll post the finds up now so that you can see them in more detail, especially the buttons might be of interest, and the horse brass. I'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching.